Yeah, it's a little bit hard to actually hear that, but he's asked about the thing and he says, you don't wanna know what I think about it, which is a sufficiently dark brain in response to that. He's gonna let Trump just stew in the situation that he's created for himself. He doesn't need to jump into it, but others are. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz put out a statement saying Republicans who continue to remain silent become complicit in legitimizing bigotry and hate when the leader of their own party mainstreams fringe white nationalists and anti-Semites. Let's jump down. Liz Cheney says, first Marjorie Greene and now Donald Trump hanging around with this anti-Semitic pro-Putin white supremacist. This isn't complicated, it's indefensible. And in case you haven't seen, yeah, she's just casually like if we go to the photo, was at his thing, his event, and then comes out of it supposedly not knowing who this was. What I will say, and I don't know if maybe this is like not what you expected my response to be. Like I see that in the news, a lot of people are really freaking out about this. And I wonder if that's sort of like an attempt to make it hit to benefit DeSantis. I'm not saying that this isn't absolutely horrendous and unacceptable. I think that it is. But, in comparison to like there are so many things Trump has done that I don't even remember anymore that I'm sure were just as unacceptable and insane and anti-Semitic and all of that as this. So I feel like with the media being like, oh God, this is gonna hit him and his AIDS flailing and everything, like that to me just feels like an attempt to make it hit Trump harder than our own history has given us any reason to believe it's likely to. Why would his base really care about this in comparison to a million other things that he's done?
I mean, I'm gonna go a little further. I think that, look, having a dinner with Kanye West at this point in time where, when he's got a lot of heat on him for obvious reasons, and we know which reasons those are. You have Nick Fuentes, you have a dinner with him. What it says is that the right never, ever, ever gets to say that any Democrat or any progressive or anyone who dares criticize Israel and Israeli war crimes ever gets to say that that person is anti-Semitic. Why? Because Democrats and the left and progressives are not the ones cozying up with open anti-Semites. We're not talking about a cabal that runs stuff. We're not talking about how supposedly Jews run X, Y, or Z industry. That's never been anything that we talk about, right? And yet, not just Republicans, but centrists consistently say that no, because the left has critiques of Israel, we're anti-Semitic. We have to drop that whole cloth. And I'm not just talking about Republicans like Kevin McCarthy who say that Ilhan Omar, should be taken off of the Foreign Relations Committee because of her stance around or speaking out around Palestinian human rights, whatever it is. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about even outgoing Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, right? I'm talking about folks who smell the whiff of critique of pro-Israel organizations that have thrown tons of money against progressives and suddenly say you're anti-Semitic. So I'm sorry, and it is a call out to all of us, but it is especially a call out to who do you stand with? Who do we stand with? Who are the real anti-Semites in our political stew that we've got here? We understand and we know who they are, and progressive Jewish organizations also understand that, and they've been leading the way on this. So once again, it just underscores what we've always known about the right in this country.
Yeah, and it's sick that so many people want to draw parallels between like, hey, maybe we should rethink the military aid we're giving to a specific country's government with Jews serve Satan, they should be barred from America. These are not the same thing.
Nope.
And the people doing the both sidesing know that, but it's convenient to lump those two groups together to make rational policy-based criticisms seem completely unacceptable. Anyway, we'll see. I don't see why this would have any long-term impact on Trump. Again, like I don't know that Trump will end up winning the primary if it's contested, but if he doesn't, I don't think it's gonna be because of this. It'll be the accrued weight of a million things like this, perhaps.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.